As Jacob and his family were traveling back to his home country, Jacob saw a host of angels. Right away, he knew they were from God. So Jacob named the place where he saw them Mekinaim, which means God's camp. As Jacob got closer to where his brother Esau lived, he became very afraid. Was Esau still angry with him after all these years? Would Esau still want to kill him? And what about his family? Jacob decided to send messengers to talk to Esau and prepare the way for him to come home. The messengers were to tell Esau that Jacob had been staying with their uncle Laban and had become very rich. So they went and delivered the message. When the messengers returned, they told Jacob that Esau was coming to meet him and had 400 men with him. Now Jacob was really afraid. So he came up with a plan. He divided his flocks, herds, camels, and servants into 2 groups. He thought if Esau attacked one group, the other could escape. After this, Jacob prayed. He reminded God that he had told him to return to his country and to his people. He said, "Remember, God, you said you would help me. I am not worthy of all you have given me. I left with nothing, and now I return with much. Please keep Esau from killing me and my family. I'm so afraid, God." That night, Jacob stayed right where he had prayed. Then he decided he would send his brother a present. He picked out hundreds of goats, sheep, cattle, donkeys, and camels with their young. The servants of each herd were to tell Esau that the animals were a gift from Jacob and that Jacob would be following behind them. That night, Jacob sent his family and all his possessions across the brook Jabbok, but he himself lingered behind. Once Jacob was alone, a man appeared, and they wrestled and wrestled all night long. Jacob, he fought valiantly. When the man saw he had not defeated Jacob, he knocked Jacob's hip out of the joint. Then the man said to Jacob, "Let me go! The sun is coming up!" But Jacob replied, "I won't let you go unless you bless me." So the man asked, "What is your name?" "My name is Jacob." Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have wrestled with God and with man, and you have overcome." And so it was, from that day forward, Jacob became known as Israel, because he now had power with God and man. When Jacob asked the man what his name was, the man wouldn't tell him. He blessed Jacob and disappeared. Jacob knew that he had seen God and lived. That's why he named this place Peniel, which means the face of God. So the next morning, Jacob continued on his journey, limping as he went. When the brothers saw each other, Esau ran to meet Jacob. But Jacob was still afraid, so he bowed down to the ground. To Jacob's surprise, Esau embraced him. So Jacob hugged him back, and they cried together. It had been so very long since they had seen each other. Jacob wanted his brother to meet his family. He introduced them one by one. Then Esau and Jacob parted ways. When Jacob arrived in Canaan, he bought a field and there built an altar to the Lord.